You are watching Canadian Muslim News on Muslim Network TV. From Toronto, Ontario, I'm Catherine Bullock. Assalamu alaikum and greetings of peace. Coming up, a conversation with Memona Hossain about a summer Islamic convention with the Muslim Association of Canada. But first, some news headlines. Over 1,000 march in remembrance of our London family. Report finds mistrust between racialised groups and national intelligence services. Film portrays converts to Islam in a new light. Nigeria declares 7 days national mourning for church attack victims. And now the details. More than 1,000 Canadians marched on the streets of London, Ontario Sunday to remember the Afzaal family and demand an end to Islamophobia. 4 members of the Afzaal family were killed last year in what the police say was a hate-motivated incident. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau made a surprise appearance and joined the members of the Youth Coalition Combating Islamophobia to lead the march. The coalition met with the Prime Minister earlier to discuss positive change. Trudeau tells media sources that his government has introduced a national action plan to combat hate, a new anti-racism strategy, and plans to appoint the nation's first special representative on combating Islamophobia. A new report finds mistrust and suspicion in the relationship between racialized groups and national security and intelligence institutions such as CSIS. The National Security Transparency Advisory Group's report says that systemic biases in artificial intelligence design have negative effects on racialized communities. It adds that CSIS's current method of reacting to tragic incidences such as the Toronto mosque attack will not be successful in building long-term trust. To rebuild the relationship, security institutions should initiate two-way dialogue with vulnerable communities. The group says government officials should be prepared to listen and respond to the unique needs of these people. An Ottawa-based director plans to showcase the rich diversity of Canadian Muslims, all the while challenging stereotypes, in her new documentary featuring stories of converts to Islam. Hoda Al-Atawi's goal is to provide intimate and personal accounts of who converts really are and why they chose Islam. She hopes the film will clear misconceptions that converts are usually extremists or oppressed. Al-Atawi says a film like this is needed in a time when Islamophobia is alive. Though the COVID-19 pandemic slowed the filming process, Al-Atawi expects it to be released within a year. Nigeria has declared 7 days of national mourning and all flags to be at half-mast after yesterday's church attack left at least 50 people dead. Gunmen opened fire on worshippers and detonated explosives at St. Francis Catholic Church Sunday in the town of Owo in Nigeria's southwestern Ondo. A member of the legislature told media sources that many children were among the dead. Ondo's state governor expressed sorrow over the incident and extended his condolences. Officials have yet to announce who is responsible for the attack. And that's it for the news. After COVID, many are looking forward to gatherings this coming summer. The Muslim Association of Canada is offering a special gathering with learning in the GTA in July. To talk to us, we have a conference organizer, convention organizer, Memona Hossain. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to the show.
Walaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Thank you for having me. Jazakallah khair.
Walaikum, it's our pleasure. You, mashallah, are a regular guest with many different hats, and now you're busy organizing a convention. Tell us why MAC has decided to do this after many years of a break.
Yeah, so I think one of the things we saw leading up to this Ramadan this year with COVID opening up is the community is really looking forward to gatherings and being together. And we thought that this was really a time to start, pushing this event forward. And Eid actually proved that really well across the country. We had such a beautiful gathering through many, many different cities, thousands of people showing up. And I think the community is really wanting that, to be together, to learn together, to thrive together. And so it was a good time to have the convention start.
You know, before the whole COVID lockdown experience, there were many people thinking that conventions were obsolete. We have YouTube. Why do we need to go to a convention? Now we've had YouTube for 2 years. Is it your sense that people now want to be together?
Yeah, and I feel like in some way that COVID kind of reminded us what we really want and how we thrive, right? As Muslims, we really thrive in that community setting, that learning space, and many people really are missing that. And I agree with you. I think at the beginning of COVID, people were like, "Yeah, this is great. I can just watch and do everything from my home and have all of those conveniences." But then towards the end of COVID, people really started missing that, and we saw that most of us, those emotions really come through during Ramadan, and people really are feeling that they want to be in those spaces learning together, and there's so much to unpack in terms of what's happening in terms of the realities around us as Muslims in Canada, and so people are excited. We have a really beautiful lineup of guests coming, inshallah, many different components to engage the community, and we're feeling that it's something that's responding to what the community is looking for, inshallah.
So you've chosen a theme called Thriving in the Path of Allah. Tell us about how you settled on this as a theme.
Yeah, so the theme is yes, Tariq al-Istiqamah, thriving in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So steadfast on the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and thriving in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And it came about really looking at what I alluded to a few seconds ago, that there are so many issues that the Muslims in Canada and across the globe are really dealing with on a geopolitical, socio-political, education, family, all of those spaces. So many different issues are coming up, and the core of that is really coming back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, connecting with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, connecting with the authentic texts and messages of what Islam really has, and recognizing that is what's going to help us thrive together individually and collectively. And that's how we kind of came in this. And thriving, meaning that, that we're moving forward, that we're growing, that we're nurturing, cultivating that thriving together. And so it's the individual and the collective coming together and moving forward with all of what's happening around us, inshallah.
Now, you've been saying an Arabic phrase after the name of Allah, which is the Arabic name for God, subhanahu wa ta'ala, but some people think that's a very long name for God. So why don't we just translate that phrase?
Subhanahu wa ta'ala, glory be to him.
Okay, so that's what you've been saying when you say Allah, and then you say
yes, yes. Sorry.
So is it the sense that the Muslim community locally and internationally is not thriving, and that's why you wanted to put the spotlight on that?
Thriving is a continuous process. And I think that we do thrive. I think because we're on this conversation about COVID, I think that we learn to thrive in so many different ways, given all of what we dealt with COVID. And I think it's something that we want to continue to do. And it seemed like the right language to put into where we want to see ourselves moving forward, again, as a community, as our youth, as our families, as the nonprofit sectors. We have something for all of these different segments coming together, and it's thriving collectively, not just as a Muslim community, but Canadians here as a collective.
So you'll be having speakers. I saw on your website there are pictures of 22 people, and of those 6 were women, which seems to me to be a very nice percentage. It could be higher, but a lot of Islamic conferences have 0 or 1 or 2. Was that a conscious decision to include more women speakers, or was it just it happened?
Yeah, so I think a representation of the diverse narratives is very important for us. And women are one part of that. Different communities are a part of that. Another focus is even, for example, having accessibility. All of those things collectively bring this concept of thriving together. Different issues, environmental issues, climate justice, social justice, political issues, all of those things collectively bring this thriving. So 6 women, and I think actually there's more. We have now 40 plus speakers, so I feel like saying there's 8 or 10 sisters that are there, inshallah. And yeah, they are there because they are, they have a very unique, important, distinct voice in what we collectively want to put together in the narrative of the convention itself. So part of it is, yes, we need sister voices, but secondly is they are strong voices that need to be there, whether they are sisters or not. Those are the voices that we want, and alhamdulillah, they are sisters.
And in case people are listening, we can hear the voice of a little one in the background. You are multitasking motherhood and interviewing. Talking about that kind of issue, is there going to be a babysitting program?
Yes, thank you for recognizing that. And we have a full children's program, actually. And the children's program is going to be all 3 days throughout the entire convention. And we will be providing meals and snacks. So, inshallah, the idea is that you really can engage with the convention itself, inshallah, while you're there. And I think the cost is also quite reasonable. All of the registration details are online. And the program is meant to be not just babysitting, but also that the children can also engage in programs that our educators and social activists and social workers are putting together around this whole concept of thriving in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
So it's going to be like an all age event. Will you be having parallel programs?
Yes, thank you for asking that. So there will be 8 parallel streams. So we will have things related to youth, professionals, entrepreneurs. We will have film screenings happening as well. We have a huge art component, inshallah, an art exhibit. We will have scholar session, scholars reflections. We will have social justice components, finance. I'm missing many, but the idea is that we will have some main sessions in the main hall, and then we will have different ones that people can pick, inshallah, that will cater to what they're here for, and hopefully everybody will get something beneficial and meaningful, inshallah.
That'll be one of those, oh, I want to go to this, oh, I want to go to this, but they're on at the same time.
Yes, I feel like that will be a good problem to have, as opposed to I don't want to go to any. And we have a great entertainment segment lined up as well, inshallah. And that will be one of the overarching sessions that you won't have to pick.
Let's. I do want to ask you about that, but let's squeeze in a quick question before that. I mean, this is like a massive undertaking. You must have an army of volunteers. How are you putting this together behind the scenes?
Army is a good word. There is a lot of work. So there's definitely the programming, there's the logistics, just even, figuring out the site and all of those pieces, figuring out even managing volunteers, figuring out the marketing, all of those pieces. So alhamdulillah, what we also have is the benefits of now a lot of people being able to work from home, including myself oftentimes. And then we've also opened up the volunteer list. So we really are looking forward to the community being part of this. The idea really is that this is by the community for the community. We're really focusing on many different partnerships with different organizations in the community who are on the ground doing what they do best and bringing all of those specialties, knowledge into the convention itself. Yes, so army is a good word, and inshallah, it will, it will come through in that way, really strong, inshallah.
We have about 30 seconds left, so just tell us about the entertainment.
Yeah. Okay. So entertainment, we have a huge lineup. So some of the names, we have Masood Curtis, inshallah. We have Baba Ali doing some comedy. We have Khalid Siddiq. We have, now I'm drawing a blank because I'm on the spot. We have Seed Ilyas Mao.
You don't have to remember all the names, but just tell us why you're including entertainment.
Because people love entertainment, and Muslim and entertainment is a part, and arts and culture is a part of Islam, and I think that again, this is something holistic that everybody can inshallah benefit from and feel that sense of community and collective thriving in whatever ways are meaningful and beneficial for them.
Inshallah. Well, thank you for joining us to tell us about it. We're out of time. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for watching Canadian Muslim News. If you like what we do, please share, like, and subscribe. Stay safe and God bless.